Okay, so our journey starts here, right? The Mortal Instruments Part 1, three books: City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. Um, it's set in the New York Institute, 2007, and the main characters are Jace, Clary, and Simon. You've seen the show, so you know the first three books focus on Valentine and him trying to raise the angel Raziel because he's a racist piece of shit. So I'm not going to tell you about the plot, you might already know. Once you finish this one, which is City of Glass, the third book, instead of continuing this series, I suggest you move on to the Infernal Devices. So this is the Infernal Devices. It's set in 1878 and it's in the London Institute. It focuses on these three characters, Jem, Will, and Tessa. What's really amazing about this book is that it has, in my opinion, it has the best characterization. And not just these three, right? It has amazing side characters. You will fall in love with all of them. And one of the best things about this series, in my opinion, are these two, Will and Jem. They're parabatai and they have a beautiful parabatai relationship, and you will absolutely love it. So you finished this one. A quick note, don't read the epilogue of this book. So this is the Clockwork Princess, and it's the last book in the Infernal Devices. Don't read the epilogue until you finish the Mortal Instruments, right? These three books, the last part of the TMI series, it focuses on Sebastian and him trying to raise I was gonna say naughty Shadowhunters. That sounds wrong. Bad Shadowhunters. Basically, they're like evil Shadowhunters. It also has a little more of Alec, Izzy, and Magnus. There's a lot of Malik angst in these three books if you're interested. Once you finish the City of Heavenly Fire, which in my opinion is the Mortal Instrument book, once you finish this, you can go back and read the epilogue of this one. Now, these are called Shadowhunter Novellas. So basically, these are books with a number of short stories focusing on three characters, right? After you finish the Mortal Instruments, the last three books, you need to read these two. Now, this book, the Bane Chronicles, obviously focuses on Magnus Bane. Look at him. Wow. Okay. I got distracted. It focuses on Magnus, and basically in this book, you learn about different points in his life. Learn more about his relationship with Ragnar and Katarina. You learn about how he felt about Camille, about how he found Raphael, and of course, this also has the first date story of Magnus and Alec. Then, after you finish the Mortal Instruments, you definitely have to read this. Number one, because it's relevant to understand the next series, and also because it's one of the best books in the entire series, right? Also, this is Simon Lewis. Can you believe, what happened to you? Anyway, this book has around 10 stories about Simon getting his way through the academy. And one of the best things about both this book and this one is that because it goes back and forth in the timeline, you learn about a lot of characters. You learn about what happened to Will, Jem, and Tessa. You learn about what happened to their kids. It's just all over the place. You also learn a lot about the circle. Valentine, Robert, and Maris Lightwood, all of those people. Okay, now we move on to the next series. Whew. Oh my god, these books are heavy. I'm just now realizing how heavy these books are. It's like you can use it to lift, weightlifting or whatever. I don't know, I don't exercise. Moving on, this is the next series that you have to read. This one is called The Dark Artificers, and it's based in the Los Angeles Institute, and it's happening in 2012. It's mainly about the Blackthorn family. And it also focuses on this character called Emma. The Dark Artificers, it has a very crime thriller kind of plotline, but it focuses specifically a lot on fairies and how, fairies kind of reacted to what Shadowhunters did to them at the end of the Mortal Instruments. So it's a really interesting series. I suggest that you give it a shot. You will definitely fall in love with at least one Blackthorn, and you will love Kit. If you don't love Kit, then there is something wrong. We need to check on that. So yeah, this is the Dark Artificers. Once you finish this one, there's another novella, and this novella is called Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and it focuses on this character called Jem Carstairs, who is a Carstairs, obviously, and who is also my husband. The best thing about this book is that it has Jem. Like, that's all I need to tell you, like, to read it. But you have to read it after you finish The Queen of Air and Darkness. And it helps you understand again about these characters, and it travels between different timelines and context and all that. Basically, read it. Look at this face. Look, okay. Yeah, so once you're done, we move back in time and we go to a different series. Whew. Honestly, this is like a little arm workout for me. Thanks. We come here. This series is called The Last Hours, DLH. And so far we only have 2 books. The covers are stunning, by the way. The 3rd book is yet to be released. This focuses on the 2nd generation of the TID gang, the Infernal Devices gang. So basically it's about the children of Will, Tessa, and all of them. And I don't really know how to explain this plot. One, because, spoilers, and also I don't really know the plot myself. Just random shit's happening, kids are horny, and they're doing shit. So yeah, it's a really good series, though. The characters, one of the best things about The Last Hours is that there are more LGBTQ characters than in any other series. But of course, they're all side characters, I roll. Once you're done with this, you're kind of done, right? But an important book or series that you have to read, and it's kind of hard to explain, is this one. Move aside, peasants. Okay, these 2 are the royalty for me. So they're from a series called The Eldest Curses. Now, The Eldest Curses is a trilogy that solely focuses on Malek, right? But the interesting thing about this series is that it happens in different points in time. So for example, this is the first book. It's called The Red Scrolls of Magic. It is hands down the best Shadowhunter Chronicles book that is out there. It happens right after Valentine is defeated. It's basically a story about Magnus and Alec going to Europe and having a vacation. And it's a rom-com, and it's really well written, and you'll like it. And then this one is a story that happens after the Dark War, after Sebastian is defeated, a couple of years after. It's happening after Magnus and Alec adopt their first son, Max. And basically, yeah, these happen in different points in time. The 3rd book is not released yet. We don't know when it'll be released. But yeah, even if you don't read the other books, if you really like Malek, you should get into this series. It's called The Eldest Curses. It's really good, and it's a lot of fluffy, cute, domestic Malek. This one's called the Codex. It's technically not like a part of the series. It's more like just a random book. The Codex is basically the book that Shadowhunters study or read to kind of understand about the shadow world. It's like a textbook for Nephilim, but we get to read it too, which is fun because you get to learn more about their world. It has things like about their way of life, about their weapons, about their country, their magic, blah, blah. But remember, it's written from a Shadowhunter's point of view, so it's very biased against Downworlders. So yeah, this is kind of sort of all the books. Yeah, I hope you read them and I hope you enjoy them. Good luck.